Okay, part 2. We're here. It's been so long, gentlemen.
Welcome back. 3 weeks. Fucking hell. Who are you guys?
I've grown a beard, shaved it off, ate the rest, and grown it again. Oh, but we were in the last episode. We were talking about everything that was 2020 in the games. We talked so long, in fact, that it couldn't stay in one episode, so we had to change it and had to snip it up into multiple ones. So we were on the topic of Cyberpunk 2077. People should give it a chance.
Yeah, fuck that game.
There's a lot of shit out there. A lot of shit out there about the game. But you just give it a shot.
Fletcher says it's good as long as you don't play on a PS4.
That's exactly what I said.
Because speaking of which, you can't play it on a PS5 either. Because no one can fucking get them.
Yes, because
I want a PS5.
What game are you? What game do you want to play on the PS5?
See, that's the thing.
I just like how it looks.
So I've actually played some games on PS5. So I don't own one. I don't own one, but I spent
Astro's Playroom and Demon Souls and Bug Snacks. I got that with PS Plus, so I've got that waiting for me for when I do get a PS5.
So I played all 3 of them.
And that's kind of like the only PS5 games I know, except the Resident Evil 8 demo came out today.
And yeah, true, indeed.
That's it.
Indeed, it did come out, and the tall lady is very attractive.
So I've heard. I've seen a lot of memes,
and it's not going to make me scared. It's going to make me very aroused. So
yes, but sometimes they are one and the same.
Ah, yes, the best kind of boner, the fear boner.
Have you seen Resident Evil 8 lady, Danny?
The Resident Evil 8 lady? No, I have not seen the Resident Evil 8 lady.
Oh, fuck. You're in for a treat.
Oh, I'm hearing typing. Should I be scared?
Oh, hell yeah. Let me see.
Just like all love is terrifying. I can't wait for this picture now.
So, I wanted to find some meme ones. These were all just screenshots of the game. Oh, here we go. Alright, so where's a good screenshot? Here we are. See the image. Fucking.
I cannot wait. I'm tingling with anticipation here.
I know.
As you should.
Okay, Discord. Don't fucking send my images. Whatever.
You know what? Should I just look this up?
Here we go. No. There it is. So that's her. She's very tall.
I get. Yes, she's exceedingly tall. But
she is kind of tall.
Some might say kind of attractive.
Let
me see.
She does have a decent set of badonkers.
She's got a lovely hat. Yes.
She has a lovely pair of eyes.
There she is.
I mean, that's quite a personality she's got.
Jesus Christ! I searched the Resident Evil 8 hashtag on Twitter. Oh, they are everywhere.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean.
It's gonna make for good content.
It's not clean at all.
Wow.
I'm assuming whichever one of us edits video is going to put these pictures in there.
Yeah, the last one especially.
Get that age warning up there, fellas. Part 2. Part 2, blue time.
So going back to the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, so apparently it's the only console that can render a woman this tall.
Probably.
That's why I want it.
I mean, modern computers aren't able to catch up with her height. She just keeps going out of the screen. I heard the game just keeps adding layers to her body so that you never actually see her face.
Yeah, it's like a Doug's Dimmadome hat.
Oh god.
So yeah, I kind of want a PS5, but I don't really want to buy one.
Yeah. Kind of get that.
A hint to our listeners.
Just Astro's Playroom fucking slaps.
Yes,
it's actually the best game on the PS5 right now. Demons.
I've played. Have you played the one on PSVR, Astro's Adventure, whatever it was called?
No.
Astrobot Rescue Mission.
I did not.
It was really, really good. Like, fantastic 3D platformer. And if Sony can just keep making more of the Astro games,
actually,
like they'll probably have fucking.
And it's a better,
really good franchise in their hands.
It's a better mascot than Sackboy for sure.
Oh, Sackboy's a shit mascot. He's a sack.
True.
What are kids like these days? They like sex. Sex. All these executives in the room. We need something like a bag, but not as bad. How about a sack?
The Little Big Planet, the first one, it got a 95 on Metacritics.
I didn't like it.
95. 95. I mean, it's like in the top. It's like in the top 20 of the best rated games of all time.
Yeah, because the whole level creation thing, that was like it was Mario Maker before. Mario Maker. Yeah, but it was. Which, obviously, it wasn't all that great, you know. Yeah, no, I really didn't like how Sackboy controlled. He was too heavy and floaty, and not at all fun to play as.
No, Little Big Planet 2, though.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
Yeah, but you could do much more with the creation system.
See, it doesn't matter if the levels are good because it sucks to control Sackboy.
True enough. Except when you could play Smash Bros.
What?
Oh,
you could actually
one. That's All Stars.
Oh, that one?
No, you could actually make like different games. Like you could make FPS games with the Little Big Planet 2 engine. Like they were shit, but it was impressive. It was pretty fucking cool.
Oh.
So I can just see this Smash Brothers just be, because it's like each controller stick is for a hand, so I can just see like players windmilling towards each other, just flailing their fists.
No, but I mean, I love this kind of things in game, like Overwatch. You know, now Overwatch, they have like this workshop system where basically people have come up with like actual Smash Bros like remakes on Overwatch. It's fucking great.
Sorry to interrupt, but I've literally just seen on Twitter that Little Big Planet 1 and 2 have been delisted from the PlayStation Store today.
Oh my god! This just in.
What?
They're gone.
It's because of us.
Yeah.
They're gone. It's because I said I didn't like it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Someone out there has that and only that in their games library, and you caused it to be put away.
Someone really wanted to buy them, like tonight.
We're now going to see PlayStation stores inundated with PlayStation with Little Big Planet.
Maybe an orphan had saved up like all his pocket money for this. And now, shit, dude.
You can still play Little Big Planet 3.
I'm not sure I can keep going.
This too much for me. This poor orphan, he's like saved up his pennies and said who has watched like Carmela Harris become the first woman vice president and believes in hope, has said, I want to be Sackboy one day. Well, you can't, kid. You can't be Sackboy. Sackboy's dead.
Unless you get Little Big Planet 3.
Oh.
Or a Sackboy's adventure game.
Little Big Planet 3, he is Sack Man.
You wanted to play the Dead Island level of Little Big Planet? No, you can't now.
No.
You know what the level you can play?
It's
the
gone.
Cemetery level, where you press F at his grave. That's all you
But there is a new Sackboy game on the PS5.
Yeah, and it's looking
PS4.
looking absolutely garbage though, so I don't think we're going to talk about it.
I heard it was quite good. Damn.
I'm just looking through all these current games for the PS5, and
Spider-Man, Miles Morales. He's there.
Do you just say Miles?
Miles.
Yeah, that's how he pronounces his E's.
You came out
Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
You came out with such fervor for that. It makes me feel like it was like fine, like you pointing into the sky and seeing him. That's how you.
It's a Spider-Man. No, it's a Miles Morales. It's a bird.
It's definitely a Miles Morales.
When you say it like that, it sounds
I can
like
definitely see the over-exaggerating swagger of a black teen. It's definitely Miles Morales.
Whenever you say it like that, do you remember watching the Wile E. Coyote cartoons? The Roadrunner.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And anytime fucking like a lot, well, not all of them, but at the start of the episode, you see like the coyotes running away from Roadrunner, and it would pause, and it would just on the screen, it would be like Wile E. Coyote, and then it would be like Coyote is run fastest in brackets, like his Latin scientific name.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds like Spider-Man in brackets, Miles Morales.
I just imagine you would be the single worst person to worst pedestrian in the face of the planet. If you go on with like Spider-Man, aka Miles Morales, address 124. like look up in the sky. Is the bird? Is the plane? No, it's Clark Kent who works at the local newspaper.
It's my good friend and neighbor Clark Kent.
Wait a minute. I know you. You're not Fear Incarnate. You're Bruce Wayne. That's who you are. Look, up in the sky. It's Thor. Well, we all know Thor.
Boo! It's not Eddie Portman.
Boo! We want Fat Thor. Boo!
I liked Fat Thor. It was like one of the few good parts of that movie.
I was really hoping he would go into that final battle as Fat Thor.
It's Thor. No, it's me, nope. Fat Thor.
No, that ain't Thor. That's thick. That's thick coming down.
So we were talking about games.
Yeah, we were. What happened to
that? What were we talking? Oh, Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Yeah, I haven't played that.
Me neither.
All right, next game.
I'd like to.
You know what I played though, and you know what?
Have we played any games? You've played some
games. I know a game that you've played and that I've played, and that we probably have different opinions on it. From what I can
Monopoly.
recall. No. I mean, you could play Monopoly in hell, maybe. Because I'm talking about Hades.
Oh yeah, Hades was okay.
So
you could die from Monopoly. You could choke on one of the pieces and end up in Hades. There we go.
Exactly. So
nice one.
Hades, probably like the most praised game of the year.
Oh, so overrated though.
Oh,
sorry, just coming straight out of the gate with the controversial takes.
Ding ding, round one. Let's go. Give a clean, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. I didn't like the voice acting.
Fair enough. Okay.
Is that your argument right there?
It's not my whole argument. It's one part of it.
All right.
And I didn't really like it.
Yeah, Hypnos is kind of annoying.
I didn't really like anyone's voice acting in it.
Orpheus, I thought for ages was a woman for some reason.
Did I even meet Orpheus in that? He's Orpheus. Let me look this shit up. I mean, see, I kind of want to play it again because I only played it for like a couple hours.
Oh my god!
Was Orpheus not a woman?
What do you mean?
Huh?
Don't you know your mythology?
Yeah, but I didn't think this was fucking canon.
Of course it's canon. What do you mean?
Yeah, Hades has a lovely lounge area that frequently gets destroyed by Cerberus, and there's a bar there, and all the ghosts hang out and have a drink.
Yeah.
So, personally, I love this game.
Okay.
To be fair, it's like right up my alley. Like this kind of game, roguelites.
See, I like roguelites too, but
like I think
just didn't do it for me.
2018, my favorite game of 2018 was probably Dead Cells. Good old roguelike too.
Oh, Dead Cells was so good.
And I don't know which one I like more between
Dead Cells,
Hades
obviously.
and Dead Cells. Like, I don't know. Hades is... I really liked it. I really, really liked it. I think my biggest issue with the game is probably the fact that half of the weapons are not fun to use. Which is a shame because there's not many weapons.
There's only 4, isn't there?
There's like 6, I think.
There's the shield, the sword, the fists, the gun, the bow,
and then there's just, the bow
and
then
the spear. Yeah, and I feel like just the sword and the fists are just so much better than all the other weapons.
That's interesting because I completed Hades and I find the shield the best.
The shield is the shield is a close like third option. I feel the gun is absolutely terrible. It's garbage.
It's utter trash.
It's garbage and it's not fun.
You have a game like a roguelike, which is all about speed and making sure you run around the areas quickly to take care of enemies, and they add a reload mechanic to your gun.
But the gun is the most OP weapon in the game, in the rooms like right before you go fight Hades. Like when you fight off the rats. It's so OP because if you get like a boon for Poseidon, it's so OP because the rooms are so small and you absolutely destroy all the fucking rats and against the walls. It's so pleasant, but the rest of the run is awful. It's awful.
One way to have a really smooth run with the shield is get Daedalus to give you multiple strikes with the shield throw, and then get Ares to give you Doom every time you hit somebody with your special. So then you'll just be throwing shields everywhere and causing all this extra, like 130 odd damage to come down on your enemies. It's insane.
I think I've played something like 30 hours of Hades by now. I think I've completed the game I've completed the game. It's a roguelite, so you don't really complete the game, but I've made like a successful run like 3 or 4 times, and I don't know, it feels very fun. Roguelites kind of lose interest in roguelites when I complete a run usually, but I still come back to it. I still love this game. I don't know.
Yeah, jealous of you guys.
The music
is really hyped for Hades.
The music is so good.
I think I was too hyped for Hades.
I think you're not hyped enough.
No, I was mega hyped for Hades.
I think you need.
I was like, it's okay.
I remember he was very hyped on Twitter, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm very disappointed."
Yeah.
You need to become the god of hype. You need to become Hypees or something. I can get so hyped for this game.
The last time I tried to hype something up, you all made fun of me. And I was all like, Miles Morales, super excited. Now we need to fucking talk about it.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago.
We just talked about how you would reveal every single superhero's identity and ruin their lives.
We're getting off course again.
So Hades, I think Hades is actually a pretty good game. If you like because the levels are ever changing, you're always met with something new. The weapons are always varied because the boons are always different. The enemies you fight, once you get them down, are fun to take on still. The story is actually, I don't know what I expected from a story about like Hades, but
I expected no story.
Yeah, and this suddenly turned into a whole intrigue thing about paternity and whatever. I thought like Jerry Springer was about to pop out of the corner. Like,
yeah,
but yeah, I'd say in terms of opinions, Kevin, you're wrong.
Okay.
I think it was fantastic, but once again, it's like the balancing. I think is kind of the issue. I mean, I've played a lot of FPSs. I've played a lot of Overwatch. I know about balancing issues, you know, and the fact that once you figure out the best way to use a weapon, the best way to deal with enemies, it's like, well, you know what? I'm always gonna pick the sword. I'm always gonna pick Aphrodite boons, and then I'm always gonna pick like Hades boons, and I'm just gonna destroy everyone in 3 hits. The fucking Minotaur is gonna die in 10 hits. Fuck him.
That's kind of why I stopped playing The Binding of Isaac. I played it so much that it just got really easy to always get like good items and get strong. And then it was just always easy.
You kind of, you can kind of figure out the game, and it's to make a comparison with Dead Cells. I think Dead Cells, it's much more varied, much more diverse in terms of like enemies you face and how the kind of approaches that you have to make to go through the game and stuff like that. Whereas Hades, you just go for it. You just dash hit, dash attack. That's all there is to it. You smash 2 buttons and you can go through the game basically.
Oh, you're really selling it to me here.
But the game is great. But you can if you don't like fun, you can play it that way and it works. That's kind of the thing that I'm going for, you know. That's kind of the issue with it.
I get you.
But it's a great game.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I disagree. You know what is a great game, though?
What?
Tell me.
Crusader Kings 3.
Oh, boy!
Yes, I did. I got one right.
I haven't played that one.
Fuck off.
Right, Crusader Kings. Have you played any of the Crusader Kings, Flusher?
I played Crusader Kings 2.
Nice.
Quite a bit, and I still don't understand anything about it, but I liked it. I
don't think anyone has understood.
No, there's too much going on in Crusader Kings to really understand what's happening.
I don't even bother with like armies and stuff like that. I just try to, you know, to take the throne from my brother and wed my sister, and, you know, incest and stuff like that.
Find that screenshot that I had.
Yes, Kevin has been sending me various pictures and screenshots of the terrible life he gives his controlled character.
It's not terrible. He was doing really well.
And then?
Yeah, he died. Everybody dies.
Well, speak for yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not dead.
Yeah, what?
Yo, spoiler. What the fuck?
With this podcast, I will never die.
Let me just see if I can actually find the fucking screenshots. Oh, there we go. There's 1. There's fucking 2. Let me just send them in, everybody. Be excited.
Just taking your time with it like a letter in a bloody post box. Let's go.
All right, look, I don't know how to work my phone. I've lost them. I'm gonna have to do this.
Man, it's fine. We're not live. We're not live. We can edit this out, and that's great.
Yeah,
that's the beauty. You. That's the beauty of no. I mean, I guess not.
Television, yeah. I mean, modern TV.
On the internet.
Audio TV. What do you mean that's radio? Shut up. But yes, Crusader Kings 3, it carries a lot over from its predecessor, Crusader Kings 2, with added neat little, essentially like little bonus pieces of material.
It's also, I feel, a good deal more accessible. I could not get into Crusader Kings 2.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, the fucking tutorial was like a million.
Oh, the tutorial is the worst part of the game.
Yeah, I know, but it was too long and it was really overwhelming.
You get out of the tutorial more confused than before.
3 has quite a good tutorial that only takes like 20 minutes. So I found the pictures. So the first picture you'll see is my Lord Dougal. He's the man in the middle. He's a dwarf. his wife, I think that was Morag. I can't remember. And then his son was called Jesus. His son was very tall.
I think he took it from his mother's side.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of good times. Like when I tried to murder a 2-year-old and only had a 95% chance of success. It's not funny.
I mean,
that child is dead.
Yeah, but you had 5% chance of failing.
I know, what the fuck?
Yeah. You know,
I mean,
he could have
just what
he could have escaped. Maybe took his revenge.
He's
Who knows?
2.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
2.
that would have been embarrassing.
See, this is the problem. It says Chieftain Nicholas. Kevin actually just killed this child and called him a chieftain to make it worthwhile. He just really wanted
so
to.
Maybe
That was just
to make
a
myself
peasant.
feel like a man.
That was
I
just a
gave him
peasant
title.
It was just a peasant boy.
Yeah.
Look, it was just destined to die at like 13 anyway. But you were like, nah.
Yeah.
I don't know my life.
I mean, is that how you? Is that like a sporting event in your realm, Kevin? Just slaughter of innocent people after giving them a title?
Yeah. Makes me feel like a big man. So we haven't really said what Crusader Kings is yet. We may have a very confused audience.
Right. Okay.
It's not Child Murder Simulator.
Or is
Mostly.
it?
It depends on how much of a monster you are.
Yeah.
You could get somebody else to do it.
In Crusader Kings, you rule over your realm.
And it is historical simulation. So essentially, you could play as anywhere in Europe, I think, more or less.
Between, what is it, the year like 800 something and then 1066? Or does...
No, it's like you could technically keep going for as long as you like, but it's like from year 800, and it usually stops around the 1600s because then Europa Universalis kicks in after that.
Oh yeah. So you pick
your country.
A country. Usually they're very they're small. If you start you can choose in the timeline when you want to start playing. So you can start. Sorry, my headphone jack fell out. You can start way back in the early 800s or in the fucking 1200s or whatever if you want.
Say you don't like France being the way it is now. You could pick Brittany and make an entire Brittany that was France.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah. Or if you hit Ireland.
If you didn't like France.
you could hit Ireland and just have everything be, I don't know, you could have Ireland to be Spanish. Sure, why not?
In my latest game, I actually started as one of the Danes and accidentally took over most of Ireland. So it's. But here's what happened: is I actually became the chief of Ireland for a while, but then I lost a good bit of Ireland. So most of Ireland is not Ireland, and the Kingdom of Ireland now mostly exists in Sweden.
How do you get that? What?
So I was the High Chief for a bit. I lost my title of High Chieftain. No, I didn't. I'm still the High Chief, I think. So I preside over the Kingdom of Ireland. That's my fucking dynasty.
Congratulations.
But I lost some of the land, so I don't actually control all the counties of Ireland.
Oh, it does remind me.
My dynasty is still technically the Kingdom of Ireland. It has just moved east.
But that is the whole point of Crusader Kings. It's all about your dynastic line, which will be your family line, and making it do all types of weird stuff. You could go for glory. You could try and spread your empire far and wide, or you could keep things in house and do weird things like marry your sisters and have children and kill those children.
And then those children become their heirs, and then you're like, I don't want to lose all my stuff, so maybe I'll just marry that child off to someone else.
Wait, dead children can become your heir? What?
Yeah, so
your heirs is in when your character dies.
Oh yeah, but they're dead too. They're dead too. What?
Yeah, so this is before the child killing. If you decide not to kill the child, they can become your heir.
Yeah, if you have a child and don't kill it, then it will inherit all your stuff, and then you play on as the child. So the game just never stops.
That makes sense now.
As long as you keep having kids.
It might sound a little bit one line, but it does branch off into very weird territories whenever you.
The best way to describe it is I was telling one of my friends at work about it, and she said it pretty much just sounded like a really juicy episode of Desperate Housewives.
Yeah, I
Because
could.
there's a lot of, I think I got an alliance with people in Scotland by, how did I do that? Yeah, I married one of daughters off to one of the Scottish king's sons, but then I also seduced his wife in secret, and they had a child, but it was my bastard child. So then the game has a system where if you, characters can have secrets, and if you find out a secret, you can use that to blackmail them. So I pretty much said to the King of Scotland, look, your son's actually my son. Just call off
What
the
you
war
gonna do
because
about
he
it,
was
bitch?
trying to invade me. And I was like, you call off the war, I'll tell the world that I fucked your wife.
I'll tell the whole world. If you don't call off this war, I'll call you a cock.
Yeah, I'll make fun of you. I make fun of you on Twitter, you bitch.
So yeah, it's really good. And I haven't played it in a couple of days, but every time I sit down to play it, I play it for 4 hours at a time. Just, it's so addictive.
Yeah, it's full of and not even to mention the ambitions as well, where the ambitions will be ranging from you want to be more virtuous, you want to get more money, you want to be more learned, and then there will be random events will appear based on that.
Yeah.
So,
for a while there, every time I had a feast, you can invite all your vassals who are people that own land, people that you've given land to that are still within your kingdom. You can invite them all to a big feast. You have random events. And my fucking idiot of a son just kept knocking over the big pot of stew. Every time. So I lost prestige points. Which meant
you made yourself look like a dick in front of the rest.
You made me look like a dick. But no, the random events are actually really cool. I like them. They're kind of like quests, nearly. You have choices. And then...
But it's a game for those who like simulation, real life simulations,
and killing children.
And killing children.
And yeah.
Really a game for everyone.
You want to. You don't have to. I chose to kill the child.
But yes, Crusader Kings 3 came and went. It was very sort of
really good.
There's another game where in the same in the same vein that came out in 2020, and that is Mountain Blade 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's a game, all right.
And well, like you said, it was all right. It's all right. It's pretty good.
I feel like me and Danny played Mountain Blade 2 for a while because I was really excited.
Same.
And it just felt like I was playing Mountain Blade 1, but
exactly.
Slightly nicer graphics.
Exactly. It was probably the biggest, not disappointment, but it was a letdown because the game is good, but it's just Mountain Blade Warband. It's just the same.
Yeah, it's just more game. Of that.
Yeah, it was very weird.
It still feels as janky as Mountain Blade 1 did.
Exactly. Except you can't really do the same spinning move where you can one shot everyone, like the Beyblade move. That's so OP, and you can't really do that. So that's a minus for Mountain Blade 2. So you're much better off playing the first one, I think, for now.
Yeah,
because you can do the Beyblade.
It's cheaper. It's better.
And you can do the Beyblade.
It's the same game, pretty much. Except, I haven't actually played the single player of Mountain Blade 2. Is it any good?
The single player is very much the same.
It's very much the same, yeah.
Except you have a couple more options. Say you don't want to be a ruler, and you don't want to be a vassal or anything. You want to be an absolute prick and be a criminal. You can be a criminal and I'm not talking about like banditry around the country and stuff. You can go and you can find a city which has little criminal circles in them, and just join those criminal circles.
But it feels unfinished.
Cool.
It feels unfinished, and
100%.
it very well might be unfinished because I think the game is still in early access or something.
Is it still?
Maybe not. Maybe it is. I think it.
I'm gonna look this up.
I don't know. I mean, it could be unfinished. It could. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. Who knows? But it could have been so much cooler. Like, yeah, you don't want to be a ruler. You just want to be like.
It is early access.
You just want to be a godfather and rule over a city from the shadows. Just want to be Don Corleone, and you can't really do that. You can be a prick. You can be a cunt. You can steal cows. That's something you can do. But you can't really like rule the underworld.
But you forget there's like a weird chess mini game that you can play as well.
True.
The weird chess mini game that you can play at the pub that doesn't seem to make sense.
It doesn't really work.
Is it not just chess?
No, it's like attack. Essentially, the whole motif is that there's an attacker and a defender, and the defender has to keep out the attackers, and the attackers just have to make their way inside.
Yeah, so
it's essentially like checkers, but everyone's all over the board.
Yeah,
that sounds horrible.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
To be fair, the first Man Blade really was really like much better when you played it with mods.
Oh god, yeah! Like the Sekujo, I think it was called, mod for Mountain Blade 1, where you were in just Japan, in like medieval Japan, and you're running around with samurais at your beck and call. It sounds weebish, I know, but I don't care. It was bloody amazing.
It was, and I feel like the second Mountain Blade can be just as good with mods, but it's just it's the same game.
I'm actually wondering what the mod community's like now. Bear with me.
You looking up Japan mods for Mountain Blade 2?
One day. But yeah, I want, like, because Mountain Blade, the online system is, how would you describe it, Kevin? I think it wasn't that bad, but it's sort of specific.
In Mountain Blade 2?
Yeah.
What do I even remember it? There's 3 modes you can play, isn't there?
I think so. There's one where it's like capture the flag, and you need to hold it for a certain length of time.
Aren't the other 2 modes just like the exact same thing?
Yeah, the other ones are like besiege a castle, and what was the third one?
The third one is something like also besiege a castle, but different.
But I've never played Mountain Blade online, but isn't the whole point of those games to basically roleplay?
Not if you go online.
Not online.
Really?
Yeah, the online one is more like death matches, but usually there's a castle and one team sieges and the other team defends.
Yeah, but aren't there like servers that are like basically role playing those sieges and stuff like that?
Maybe if you're a nerd.
I mean, the gameplay wouldn't really lend itself to role playing because it's always timed events for capture the flag and stuff. But if you're role playing, you could that's a good question. I know there are lots of games out there that do work better as role players. Oh, I need to have a look into that actually, because role playing in a Mountain Blade world, I'm surprised there aren't like 15,000 people who call themselves a king running around. Like who's going to jump into a Mountain Blade warband RPG and just say, I want to be a dirt poor shit peasant?
Yeah, I'm going to role play as a pawn.
Yeah, you get to spit on me whenever you like.
I promise not to
enjoy it. Wait. No king shaming.
No king shaming.
That's why I said, whenever you like, sire.
Right now, come on.
But Mountain Blade, the graphics are definitely an improvement.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, but it still looks like a
Spent
2010
like
game.
£30 on that shit.
It still looks like a 2010 game though. It's still not good visually.
Yeah,
It's not.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's
better,
okay.
but it's not great.
Yeah.
it's like
don't
I'm
know.
just trying to see when people were last playing this that I know, and everyone has sort of fallen off the bandwagon after a bit of time.
Yeah, I think everyone played it when it came out, and then it was like, oh, I've played this.
Although saying that, you've now sparked my interest. I need to go back online and get beat up horribly like I did last time.
You're not doing it now.
No, I'm not. I'm dedicating my time
Yeah.
to
our lovely chit chat podcast.
But speaking of games, one other game, the final one that I was going to bring up, because y'all beat me to the rest of them.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry at all. The game that I was going to focus on, Darksiders Genesis.
Oh, that game's good.
So Darksiders Genesis is a 2-person top-down. What's it called? A 2-person top-down
twin stick shooter.
Twin stick shooter.
Kinda.
Yeah. Well, it's a hack and slash as well.
Yeah, hack and slash twin stick shooter.
Where you play as 2 horsemen of the apocalypse. That already sounds like a damn fine game. Specifically because
Did you just compliment yourself?
No,
Wow, I'm really selling this game to you guys. aren't
They
I?
should hire me.
well, I meant to say a damn fine game, but so you get to play as War and
Strife? Yeah.
Because Pestilence retired, I think. I don't know.
And Death isn't in this part of the story.
And what's the other one? Havoc?
There are 5? No.
No,
There are 4 horsemen.
Yeah, there's
War,
and Strife, Death, and who's the other one? The woman one.
Oh, fuck, what was her name? Let me look up Darksiders 3.
Darksiders Genesis.
Yeah, tell me more about it. Tell us more.
It's essentially, as mentioned before, it's a top-down twin stick hack and slash shooter, and it deals with a lot of things that were brought up in the Darksiders universe in the previous couple of games. So you'll meet a lot of characters from those games, and essentially it's about shit's going down, hell are being dicks, send in the horsemen. And it's your job to just wreck shop and ruin the days of every single demon you can find. Which, it sounds simple.
It kind of is simple, but it's really good though.
Yeah, it is pretty good. The mechanics and the puzzle solving, you wouldn't expect there to be puzzles in a game like this.
Yeah, and there's a lot of exploration too. I remember when we played, there was a shitload of collectibles to find off the beaten path.
Oh yeah, like you can you play this single player? We've only ever played it but together.
Yeah, I think you can. Wouldn't be half as much fun. It's definitely meant for co-op.
Yeah. But how would you rank it compared to other games of its type, Kevin?
Well, here's the thing. I haven't really played that many top-down twin-stick shooter hack and slash adventures, and I'm struggling to think of one right now that isn't. What was that one that I played? Smash TV that came out in the 1980s in the arcades.
Okay,
it's really good. It's nothing at all like Darksiders Genesis, but it is a twin-stick shooter. So to answer your question,
yeah,
it stands out in the genre because there are not that many games like it at the minute.
Indeed.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What's especially unique about it, and that I like, is that there's only 2 characters, but they play very differently.
Yeah, one has a gun.
Yeah, one has a gun and has like all these special abilities around using the gun, and Doesn't he have like some sort of teleporting thing? Or I can't remember. You played as him most of the time.
You mean a dash? I think.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think
No.
you have it too.
No, I think he's like he's some special ability. I can't remember. Never mind. And then War is all about melee fighting, and it's like two different styles of gameplay, but in the one game. So you get a lot of variety.
So in terms of gameplay, it's very, very solid. It's very fun to play as well, and the structure of the levels are actually pretty nice as well. So you get a bit of variety for what you do. In terms of story, not
great.
Yeah, it's fairly mundane, to be honest with you, which is a shame for a game like Darksiders, which tries to throw.
Because Darksiders 1, 2, and 3 they were quite story heavy.
They were quite story heavy.
Their stories were quite good.
So Darksiders
well
Genesis,
written anyway.
But that was before the great fall of THQ.
Oh yeah.
The great mighty fall of THQ. We all remembered where we were the day that THQ fell. But in terms of games that you can play with a friend, yeah, I'd say you should try and get this one, actually.
Yeah, everyone should, as long as you have someone else to play it with.
Yeah.
It's one of those games I've never played single player. It's like Warhammer Vermintide.
Oh, why would you want to?
I know. Have you played Ed Flasher?
Oh, you mean medieval Left 4 Dead? Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I did.
Humans versus rats, the game.
It's so much fun. I've never played it on my own, and I don't think I ever could.
Seeing as how even when it's me and you playing it, the CPUs are god,
so dumb.
My god.
Are you looking forward to? I think it's called Darktide.
Yes, the 40K version.
Hell yeah!
The Warhammer 40K version.
40K Left 4 Dead.
So basically, this will just be like Vermintide with guns, essentially.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait for it.
What Cyberpunk 2027 should have been. But no, I've always wondered why they never released a 40K Left 4 Dead.
I know, and now they finally are.
The whole atmosphere and like the whole
just that whole universe
universe really fits it. So just throw people into a hive and just say, "There's a gun, try and live." Bye.
So what other games are we looking forward to that are hopefully coming out soon?
Oh, coming out soon. Let me see.
Or when I say soon, I mean like in the next year or so. Not tomorrow.
Let me see. There was one.
Nothing.
I mean, I was very excited for Dying Light 2.
For what?
Dying Light 2. Until very recently.
Oh, Dying Light, yes.
Yeah, Mirror Rage. Mirror Rage.
What's happening with that game?
Well, almost, most of the prominent people working on that game just left or were forced to leave.
Oh, that really sucks.
Yeah, I don't really know what's
super looking forward to it too.
I don't really know what's happening now.
Damn.
Yeah, other than that, it's like shit. I don't know. I was really looking forward to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 when they announced it, and then I saw gameplay.
You saw that trailer.
I saw gameplay of it, and then I was like, oh shit, man. I was very excited to System Shock 3, especially because, you get like some big names working on it. And then we haven't heard anything about it in like quite some time, so I'm getting worried.
Like Elden Ring. We haven't heard anything about Elden Ring in like fucking forever.
True.
Not that we ever heard anything about it except that it exists.
True.
There's also rumblings that Prince of Persia will be getting a remake in March.
Oh, it will happen, and it will probably be shit. Given what we've seen, it's
I don't trust Ubisoft anymore.
Oh, can we? Yeah. So
Yes,
Ubisoft,
we can have a rant about Ubisoft games.
Yeah, yes.
Because they've been shit ever since Assassin's Creed 4.
Assassin's Creed 4.
No,
Okay.
I liked Assassin's Creed 4, but from then onwards...
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 4 and what, Far Cry 4, I think it was the same year, some shit like that.
It's the same fucking game. Far Cry 4 wasn't that... No, that's a lie. Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 3 are the exact same game.
Yeah, but there's still... Far Cry 4 is still decent.
Yeah.
Whereas after that, it's still the exact same game, but
it's downhill.
Yeah, it's the exact same game, but in worse.
Yeah, and then they tried to reboot Assassin's Creed, and it was...
Yeah.
It just didn't work. I played...
Doesn't work for me, but...
Assassin's Creed...
Origins, Odyssey.
Odyssey. I played that one, and it was kind of fun, but the world is just too big. It's like I don't have time to be taking over like a million fucking outposts and just doing this 400-hour story. Just give me something good.
I just wanted to talk about Ubisoft because they've probably released one of the worst game of the year with Watch Dogs Legion, and I know I shouldn't, but I was kind of looking forward to it because
I was too. That whole thing where you can literally play as anyone on the street.
Yeah, that gimmick, that whole shebang. I don't know. It sounded interesting. It sounded risky, but it sounded interesting. But the problem, a
little bit too ambitious.
The problem is, the real problem is that it's not even the real issue. Everything else about the game is garbage. It's so bad. It's trash. It's rubbish. I don't know. It plays so poorly. It's like a 2005 game and a bad one.
Jesus.
I don't know. Yeah, it was very bad. Yeah.
So we'll come in next time with the new episode, and it'll be Flusher continuing to describe in ways it's a terrible thing. Does be going through a thesaurus at this rate?
It's shit. It's bad. It's smelly. I don't like it.
But for that, one of the other things I think will be interesting to come, hopefully out of 2020, but most likely 2021. Sorry, most likely. Hold on, 2022. God damn it!
There's another 2020.
I know. It's looked back on itself. But the game is Chivalry 2.
Oh yeah, Chivalry exists.
Chivalry's coming back.
That was a good game. What, like 10 years ago?
The team that did it before Mordhau.
Mm-hmm.
The team that did it before.
Wasn't Mordhau basically Chivalry 2?
Yeah. So now Chivalry 2 saw that and just went, motherfucker.
Like, hey,
already, hold on a minute,
you son of a bitch.
So it'll be interesting to see what they bring to the table to try and, I don't know, put Mordhau in its place. And then what Mordhau brings out to say, fuck you, Chivalry, and then just a back and forth. But
sounds cool.
That's what I'm looking forward to most, because Chivalry is just absolute chaos. Playing that game in a 0G map.
What? There were 0G maps?
Oh my god, some of the maps were crazy. One of them was 0G, and you were in a forest, and you would jump, and your character would jump over the top of fully grown pine trees. It was insane. And it was helped by the fact that they would scream as they did it, which would make sense because, they're jumping up like 40 feet into the air. So now you would just have guys reenacting Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, just fighting on the top of trees. But that's what I'm looking forward to most.
So guys, I have a proposition to you guys. I think we have one game that we could still talk about that was released this year. Last year. 2020. That's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
I almost said it's a pretty good one, and no, but it's a pretty big one. And then we can maybe move on to like our personal picks for like the best game of 2020.
Okay, yeah.
And then maybe we'll see what happens next. Who knows?
What game is it?
I The Last of Us 2.
Oh, I didn't even play it.
Am I the only one who's played
it? Sorry.
Damn it, Kevin.
I don't play games.
You're doing a game podcast.
I just talk about them.
Yeah, I could be playing games right now, but I'm not. I'm too busy talking.
Take it away, Flusher. Tell us about The Last of Us 2.
So we've talked about like a shaky release before with Cyberpunk.
Yes.
And that's the other big one, I think, for this year. Quite not really for the same reasons.
There was a lot of controversy around it on Twitter.
It was much more
and Reddit.
Childish, much more stupid in a way from both sides. The people that really liked it and who will defend it no matter what to the death, and then the people who hated it for, you know, sometimes good reasons, sometimes not so good reasons.
Yeah, I think a good reason would be the story. I haven't played the game, but I have watched I watched a very long, in-depth analysis video about the story.
Yeah.
And it's kind of shit towards the end.
It's kind of shit towards the entire game. In my opinion, the story is not good. I mean,
Shall we discuss spoilers and explain why it's a bit shit?
We can.
Yes,
I think we can.
I just spoiler warning.
Yeah, it's right.
Take it away, Flusher. Spoil us.
Yeah, so Joel dies, but that's fine. But that's right. That's actually fine. What's not fine is this. Everything about this scene is somewhat fine. It's not great. It's definitely not great. It's not fun, but it's not supposed to be fun. So, you know, okay.
Yeah.
But everything leading up to it and everything that goes after that is so... I don't even have a word for that. It's just... It's convoluted. It's not... I don't know. It's not well put together. The pacing is atrocious. I was talking about like how much pacing means to me in games with Doom. I think The Last of Us is so fucking bad when it comes to that. It's all over the place. The game is so long for the worst reasons possible.
That always pisses me off. There's nothing I hate more than like a padded game.
The writing is so bad. Like, it's genuinely horrible. The characters are horrible. Like, the supporting cast is one of the worst I've ever seen in a AAA game. Like, it's... I don't know. And the thing is that the gameplay is basically the same as the original Last of Us. And
the gameplay in the original Last of Us wasn't really anything.
It wasn't the reason why you would like the game, you know. And it's just it's a game that you can enjoy, but it's not likable. I don't think it's a likable game in any way. There's nothing to be like, shit, you know what? I've enjoyed myself playing this game. It's like, yeah, it's not a bad game at all. It's not a great game, but it's not a bad game. It's just
not even worth playing, really.
It's kind of empty. Like, there's one most characters are like useless. There's one character basically. He's there like a few times throughout the game. It's supposed to be like a very, not a very important character, but an important character in the game, and it's like a recurrent one. And then all of a sudden he dies, and you're like, oh well, we'll never talk about him again. We'll never talk about him again. I mean, it doesn't happen just one time. It happens like 3 times at least. There's at least 3 characters for that where that happens. They get killed on screen. Or sometimes even off screens for some of them, and you don't talk about it, and you don't talk about it ever again. There's nothing leading up to it. There's nothing. There's no conclusion to their story except that, hey, he got shot, he's dead. and you don't really care. The characters don't really care. So why?
I can see how that would be disappointing. All right,
there's no build up to anything.
It's just like shitty plot twists for the sake of having a plot twist. Like,
exactly.
oh, look,
and when
he
there's
died.
and when there's a build up to something, well, there's no conclusion. So like the entire game is you taking revenge, but at the end of the day, you actually realize that revenge is bad.
Yes. Ellie's just like, nah, I
But-
may have killed 300 people to get here, but
Yeah, they were
No
probably
more
nice
killing for
people.
me.
They were probably nice people. But this one, who's not a nice people, not a nice person.
yeah.
No, I don't really feel like it. I'm still gonna fight to death with her. So maybe I will like
just-
mortally wonder. Maybe she will be like, maybe she's injured and she's gonna
Teach her a
die.
lesson.
Yeah, but
You
I'm
can be
not
the Batman of this world.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe she will die because of a concussion or some shit, but I won't know about it, so my conscience feels much lighter now. I don't know. It's the best mechanics of the game is the rope mechanic. It's so good. Like, there's so much that went into the physics of the rope. At some point, I was like, almost feeling like I was playing like Half-Life 2 with the physics engine and everything. I was like, oh, that's so fucking cool. And then you use the rope like maybe twice in the game, and that's it. And it could have been so cool to use it in fights. Like, oh shit, you throw the rope around the fucking tree, you're fucking Tarzan. All of a sudden, you jump on the guy, you
How
split
many
his skull
times
open.
today have you talked about a game and said the words, could have been so cool?
It could have been so cool, but I think
like
I don't know.
just
I
a
don't know.
recurring theme of this year,
Yeah,
apparently.
it's kind of like this podcast. It's pretty good, but it could have been much better, probably.
Well, we're going to have to think of a new topic to talk about next week or next time or whatever bloody time we decide to do this.
But yeah, so it's such a shame once again that a game with so much potential
Everything stinks.
ends up just fucking
That's the name of the
stale.
episode. It
Yeah,
had so much potential.
it had so much potential.
Oh dear. Right. So final piece then for the day is our personal favorite games of the previous year of 2020. Like, this is a heavy accolade.
Games that came out.
It means a lot to these games. Yes,
All right.
games that came out in 2020.
You can
Okay.
name a few if you don't want to name a single one, but at the end of the day, we'll still ask you to
But
name a single one. So
it's probably Doom Eternal. That is the game that I played most because I just was constantly having fun with it because it's great.
Okay.
this is a
But
good,
that-
that is a good
Pretty
argument.
much all the other games that I played this year were a lot of them were very good, but they also had points where I was like, this is kind of a slog to get through. Whereas Doom Eternal was just like, fuck yeah, I'm going.
True.
You won't see me for 20 hours, damn it.
Yeah, pretty
I'm
much.
playing Doom.
What about you,
Oh.
Danny?
Well,
You gotta
in
pick something different
terms-
to me.
oh, do I?
Nah,
Well,
you can say
Um,
Doom Eternal.
like, going on from Kevin's point about great games, it's a tough one between Hades and Doom for me. I like Hades in terms of roguelikes has brought in like a good fresh flavor. I've always been a big fan of Greek mythology and the stories it tells, so having that wrapped in a fast-paced game is a welcome breath of fresh air. But Doom Eternal slaughtering demons to a kick-ass soundtrack, like, it's sort of the perfect, it's a great sort of example of a game that doesn't need a necessarily big story, because you are Doom Guy kill demon, go. Like, that's literally all it is for Doom, and suddenly you're in space, but you don't care because you're Doom Guy.
More demons there, and you can go kill them.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to go in terms of hours play, just Doom Eternal, just from the previous year. Doom Eternal has sort of blown everything out of the water. But Hades really, really is up there. It has changed my perception on roguelikes. What about you, Flusher?
Then you should definitely play Dead Cells. But yeah, what about you, Flusher?
Well, first of all, there's one game that could have been in the conversation, but I haven't played it yet, but I've only heard good things about it. It's the last Yakuza.
That's on my wish list. I've actually just started playing Yakuza 0.
Pimp Simulator. Yes, go on.
Cannot stop playing it. It's so good.
It's such a fucking
it's like
good game.
One minute it's all like, oh, crime drama, your fucking dad, not really your dad, is in prison, you gotta get him out. So sad, angry, and then it's like, hey, take this girl on a date to a nightclub to get information about her prostitute ringleader. And then learn a new fighting style because you watch some guys break dance on a bridge. And then
you go sing a karaoke and shit, it's so fucking good.
Don't forget the property tycoon part as well.
I haven't got there yet.
So fucking good.
I've spent so much time doing side quests. I've picked up so many like telephone cards with Japanese porn stars on them. Did you know that one of the Yakuza games, I think it's Yakuza 7, has a section where Kiryu goes into an online chat room like with an actual Japanese porn star?
That sounds pretty good.
Have you been to the fucking the porn houses in Yakuza 0? Because every time you do a side quest that has a woman in it, they're all based on Japanese porn stars.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
There's like these little porn huts you can go to that apparently really exist in Japan. And you can like, they filmed like softcore, not even porn videos specifically for the Yakuza games. It's just the women in bikinis like holding big pink balloons.
Oh
yeah, isn't that like, it's more like a video for a catalog, really?
Yeah, but like they filmed those specifically just for the Yakuza games. That's fantastic.
I love these games so much, and that last one, like, I've only heard good things about it.
I've heard it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so that could have been in the discussion, but unfortunately, I still haven't played it. Yeah,
I'm too busy in Yakuza 0 learning tricks from Miracle Johnson, not Michael Jackson.
I fucking love that part with Miracle Johnson. And he just keeps going, woo.
Yeah, he says he just keeps going like Shamo every so often. And you have to help him film his music video for not Thriller.
Yeah, where he wants the zombie guys to really come at him and you got to fight them off.
I don't know about you, but that's what Thriller was missing. Michael Jackson dancing amongst zombies while a Japanese man beats the hell out of them.
Definitely.
Did you do the side quest where there's a dominatrix who doesn't know how to be a dominatrix?
Oh my god. Yes, that's right.
You like role play, but you're in the park and then these kids come up to you.
It's I mean, as weird as it sounds after you said that, it's such a wholesome game. It's so wholesome. I don't know, it's so likable.
I know, and it's really dramatic at times.
Yeah.
It's so wholesome, like that mini plot where you go to a car, like a micro car track racing circuit,
and the small little fucking toy cars.
And the small girl comes up to you and says, "You must race for my love, Kiryu." And he goes, "I don't want to do that." And then he wins, and the girl is just like, "I swear the computer made it easier for you to win that bloody race." And the girl comes up to you and says, "I guess I'll have to love you forever." And Kiryu's just like, "Stop talking to me, leave me alone."
So we got quite off topic there.
True.
You didn't tell us what game. Oh wait, you did. It was Yakuza. Never mind.
No, yes, but no.
Mess.
Actually, my game of the year is one we haven't talked about yet. So for a good amount of time, I was considering picking Persona 4 Golden for my Game of the Year because it was released on Steam, and I played way too much of this game during the summer, and I loved every fucking single seconds of it.
It's like the only game that I've ever played on my PS Vita.
It's yeah. So I had played the original when it was released. So like in what 2009,
in the PS2,
something like that. Yeah. And then I never played the one on PS Vita. Obviously, I mean shit. I never had a PS Vita. I'm not a fucking nerd, you know. So
I am.
So it was new to me, and I absolutely fucking loved it. But I felt like it was kind of like cheating still because it's not really a 2020 game. So I picked another game that it could be seen as cheating too. But I picked Persona 5. Because shit, so good too. Holy shit! I wasn't the biggest fan of Persona 5, the original. I feel like it had like a few issues to me, like in terms of game design. There were a few things that I didn't like. And Royale, basically, it's like, shit, these things weren't that great. We realize it. We'll just make everything absolutely fucking crazy good. So you can't
really
complain
that
anymore.
much better? Because I played a lot of Persona 5. And then I must have been about 15 hours in, and I just sort of stopped.
Right, so that's the thing. 15 hours, you said?
I know, it's quite a long time.
It's I think Persona 5, compared to like 3 and 4...
I know that game goes on for a lot longer.
Yeah, compared to like 3 and 4, like 5 takes a while to get started, to get really good. I feel like...
I just don't know if I'm willing to put in that much time.
I really do feel like it's worth it. It's absolutely incredible. It's incredible. Especially, like, once again, the original version wasn't that big of a fan. Maybe because I was compared too much with, like, Persona 4, and it just, like, I don't know. The fourth one means so fucking much to me, so I don't know. But, like...
So I guess if I see it on sale for, like, £5, I might get it.
This Royale version is so... I probably spent like 20 hours in the fucking Velvet Room trying to optimize, to min-max all my fucking personas. I love doing that. I love doing that. It's a fucking... It's heaven for all the people who like to min-max in games. It's so good. And I don't know, mechanics-wise, it's a real like upgraded version compared to the original Persona 5.
I probably will get it then.
And I mean, shit, like, the added story is so fucking cool. It brings a lot to the fucking table. It's such a good game. Like, I'm actually struggling to find a single like flow to this game. Like, it's so fucking good.
Damn, you're actually selling me on this.
This like,
when I finish Yakuza and Yakuza 2 and Yakuza 3, I'll get around to Persona 5 Royal.
The game design is so good. The story is so fucking great. The soundtrack is holy shit. Oh fuck! I mean, it's a personal game, so the soundtracks are always fucking on point. But
yeah,
it's so fucking amazing. Visually, like, the design is so fucking good. It's so fucking cute too. It's like it's like the best style of anime design I can think of. It's so good. And just the characters, it doesn't give the same feel as like Persona 4 or even 3. It's not as sinister as Persona 3, and it's not as friendly, like, good vibes kind of shit as Persona 4. Like, Persona 4 is the kind of game, if you're feeling kind of down one day, you just throw up you just from some kind of Persona 4 video, or you start the game and you feel better instantly. You have like Kuma being like, oh shit, you know what, I kind of like you, sensei, and you're like, oh fuck man, I love you too, I love you too, my big bear. And it's Persona 5, it's kind of different. It's like, oh shit, there's a cute cat, it's pretty fucking cool, I'm gonna buy this game for my 10-year-old child, and then there's like, oh, in the first dungeon there's like, oh, stories about rape and suicide and stuff like that, and you're like, oh fuck, maybe my kid won't like it as much as I do, but
Anyway.
But it'll be a life lesson to him.
It's, I don't know, it's this game,
It's
all the personas, but this game too, it's like just the writing is so fucking on point. It's like, it's so cliche. I mean, Japanese cliches and all of that, anime cliche, but every time they manage to like to make it sound good, like to turn the cliches on their heads, and I don't know, so fucking good. So fucking good.
Cool.
And on that note, this podcast has been so fucking good, so I hope you've all enjoyed it too.
Like it.
Indeed.
Tell us you love us.
Indeed.
Please.
It was
Stick around for another one. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was kind of scuffed, but I think the people will love it.
But that means it's real, folks. It's none of that polished shit.
Exactly. More than 2 hours of runtime, like 2 hours and 20. It's pretty good.
Real thoughts by real people.
Exactly.
It would be really nice if you tune in next time for more shit spouting on the pause menu.